Okay, hi again, Rara Taro here, and this time I'm here to share on a current selection of cards. I'll tell you a little more about that in a bit. Me, I have a very avid interest in tarot and tarot readings. I'm passionate about doing that, and also other esoteric topics, subject matters, and I go by Rara Taro, which is Rarataro. I do have a gig on Fiverr, and that's Fiverr with two R's.com/ Rara Tarot, which is Rarataro. I'm here on YouTube sharing my passion for the tarot, helping others by giving free public readings. If you're interested in that, I can do that for you. If you're fine with it, and I can totally leave your name anonymous. I can also analyze a reading you may have received that you're not quite happy with, or it's not clear to you still. I can also help you with a reading if you as a tarot reader gave a reading to a client that you got stuck on or you wanted further insight on. I can also help with that, and I will do it here on YouTube. So this individual did an electronic reading on herself. What do I think about electronic readings? I have no problems with them. I do them on myself a lot. I haven't done them on a client. I probably won't. But I do them on myself quite a bit. I have no problem with it. I think it's all in how you connect with the energy of the cards and how you connect with the energy of the question and the energy of the client or yourself. So are you meditating on the cards as you shuffle them? Are you repeating a question in your mind as you shuffle them? Are you getting a visual of this individual that you're reading for in your mind, or the scenario or the subject matter? So if you're doing all these things and while you're reading, that's all that matters. The other thing I also want to point out to you is, you see here I'm using a cardboard to represent one of the cards. A lot of tarot readers are not going to agree with doing this, but I have a very unorthodox view of the tarot. I feel that it's not about the card, the physical card itself, or the illustration of the card. It's the energy and the idea behind the card when you're reading. That is what's important, and how you connect with these given ideas and energies as they surface in a reading. And for me, the illustrations help a lot. They can help thoughts flow better. They can, the illustrations give you hints. They remind you in some way of what's going on in this given card and how it relates to the context of the reading. But if the card within itself come up, the idea of the card comes up, then to me that is enough for you to go with on the reading. And that's just my take on it. I've been working with these cards for several years, and unfortunately I have two cardboard representing two of the cards in it, and I'm not worried about it at all. I still work with the energy of the card more than actual representation and illustration of the card. And so some people like to know what type of card deck was used when doing a tarot. I don't care, because I think it's not as important as the idea behind the card. I think as long as it's a tarot, the interpretations remain the same. And the other thing I want to say on that too is, it could be a different type of card, different type of, like maybe it's angel oracle cards or something that's not the tarot. That would be a different scenario. But if it's the tarot, then to me it's all the same, as long as you're connecting with the idea and energies behind the card, as long as you're connecting to the question that you're reading on, and as long as you're connecting to the client. Do I still prefer clients touch the cards? So again, that's something that people have divided views on. I like when the client touch the cards during a reading. If it's an in-person reading, I feel that will help with the tarot and the client being able to connect with the energy of spirits when the reading is being done, and the reading is more likely to be accurate, in my opinion. Sometimes I'll even let the client shuffle cards. So that's all I have to say on that matter. But now I'm going to go into the reading itself. So this querent, she's a female, and she's been doing daily electronic readings on herself. What I didn't like about what she told me, it was the fact that she doesn't really read on anything specific. It's just very general readings. I'm all for general readings to an extent, but I think they should have some form of direction. So if somebody requests a general life path reading, I'm more happy to do that. If they request a general love reading, I'm more than happy to do that for them. But what I don't like is if you just pull a couple of random cards out of nowhere without any thought into or giving the cards any direction, because now that leaves it way too broad and open for interpretation. So I don't really like that too much, but she did it this way, and she's been doing it this way daily. She did tell me something interesting. She told me that the reverse Queen of Swords keep on surfacing. So it's a recurring card for her in her daily readings in recent times. And she did tell me that upon doing her general daily reading that particular day, an incident occurred that allowed her to apply these cards to that given situation. So the situation involved the fact that she had in a prior time sold a computer to her neighbor, and this computer was intended for the neighbor's son. The neighbor's son is now having problems with this computer and wants her, the previous owner, to help with either fixing the problem with the computer or giving him suggestions on what he can do to improve the function of the computer, help it to work better. So when she did her daily draw, electronically of course, these are the cards that came up. It was a 3-card reading. I'm not mad at that. It was the reverse Queen of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the reverse Page of Swords. So with the Queen of Swords reversed, she says this card keeps recurring in her reading. It keeps returning, and that makes her quite curious. She wants to know what's up with that. She also feels uncomfortable with it because when she sees a reverse Queen of Swords, she gets the idea of somebody that is bitchy, that is uppity, snobby, has no emotional intelligence, I guess, so to speak, and probably can be quite cruel. And so this is what I came up with. Usually, or sometimes, not all the time. You see, again, it would help if we had some direction when she pulls these cards, because even though this woman may be returning over and over, she could be interpreted in different scenarios. But above that door, beyond that, I would like to say that usually when you see a recurring court card, this is representing some form of energy or spirit surrounding the querent. There's a presence in this person's life, and it is usually somebody is not on the physical plane right now. So yes, this could be a spirit that has already crossed over, or some form of spirit guide that is surrounding the querent right now. And and usually it doesn't always have to be somebody that the querent know or knew in this lifetime. It could be a soulmate from a previous past life, or just some spirit guide that is a part of this querent soul group. And this energy is coming up over and over in the readings because she's choosing to impart some wisdom to this querent at this time. And often when she comes up in this way in the cards, it usually means that, so in this example, the reverse Queen of Swords, she is the source of the wisdom being imparted to the querent in the cards. So what does the reverse Queen of Swords tell us? And it's very easy to interpret it in the most negative or darkest sense. And it is true. This could be well, no, I will say I don't necessarily interpret it in the most negative sense. I think this could just be some shadow aspect that the querent needs to work on. When I see this card come up, I don't think it's the most negative or evil energy. I don't get the sense of this energy being malicious. It could just be that this person is very cold, very impersonal, very formal. So still impartial, but very cold and clinical in how they approach matters or situations, and almost like a judge or a doctor. And it could be that this individual doesn't like to put emotions into her judgment of situations or her decisions in approaching situations. So this person is they're very impartial, but they're still also very cold and impersonal in how they do this. When I see this come up, it's suggesting to me that perhaps the querent has been a little too subjective for her own good in how she handles situations. Maybe she lets her heart interfere too much. Maybe she gets too personal. Maybe she gets too emotionally involved, especially if it's in matters relating to family or friends or people that are close to her. Sometimes it suggests that she's a bit of a walkover, a bit too much of a walkover. She's taken advantage of at times, especially with people who are close to her, because she has a soft spot for these people. And this woman is coming in her life to help her toughen up a bit and be a bit more impartial in how she handles these situations. Step outside of herself and see the situation in a very objective matter, no matter who the individual is. Now for the rest of the cards, she said that when following doing this general reading, and when that situation came up with her neighbor, the sun, and the computer, she could see how these cards could easily be interpreted to read that situation. And so we have the Eight of Swords upright, and I do agree with what she came up with, that the situation will be a difficult one to deal with, and if she gets involved, it'll become an even more complicated situation, both for the neighbor and his son and herself. The page, so that's pretty simple and straightforward in my opinion. The Page of Swords in verse, she also was struggling with this card and wanted more insight. What I'm here to tell her is, usually the Page of Swords upright is a very impulsive young energy in relation to thoughts and ideas. This person is a talker. They love to talk, they love to share, they love to communicate on a wide variety of topics and ideas and so forth. This person is very intelligent. This is a very intelligent young energy here. However, when you get a card like this, sometimes it can suggest somebody that has a bit of mouth diarrhea. He talks freely, talks about himself and his ideas and his thoughts, and he shares them freely without any discernment, without any selectivity in what he's saying and who he's saying it to. So this guy can come up when it's related to like gossip, and he's not necessarily a malicious guy. It's just he can't help himself. He or she can't help themselves, so they share freely on things they know. They share freely on things about themselves and of others they know without holding back. And usually we see this person sharing without showing any wisdom or discernment or selectivity in what they share and to whom they share. And so when this card is coming up in the reverse mode, we're seeing the opposite of that. This person is intelligent, usually have a lot of ideas in hand on a wide variety of subjects, and is usually an excellent communicator. However, this individual is choosing to show more discernment in what they share and to whom. And it can indeed be applied to the computer situation where she's being advised. Well, first of all, she admits that she doesn't know how to help this person. So this is reflecting that there's no ideas available to her at this time on how to help this young man with the computer. And so in her wisdom, she's choosing not to get involved and not to share any suggestions with him. And that is a very wise position to come from. If you don't know what you're doing, then why get involved, and make the situation worse, as would be reflected with the Eight of Swords if she did act. So this card is showing that she's showing discernment in staying out of it. She's choosing not to act by sharing on what she doesn't know. She's choosing not to get involved, and she's choosing to stay out of it. She's showing her judgment here in a very good way. She knows if she gets involved, it will just complicate things more for the son and herself, and she knows that it doesn't make any sense for her to be sharing ideas or suggestions or helping in any way if she doesn't have a clue herself. And that's what the Page of Swords represents. And we're seeing here where this is why the reverse Queen of Swords probably came up. She wanted to warn her of this situation or of other situations coming up in her life where she would need to be firm and show some background or be a bit tough in how she handles situations, because perhaps she would probably soften up too much and get involved against her better judgment because she knows these people. Maybe these are neighbors that have been in her life for several years. Maybe she's close to them, and so the Queen of Swords reversed is telling her to hold firm and remain objective and think clearly, using her head in this matter. And the Queen is telling her, warning her that this could become difficult and complicated for everybody involved if she gets involved, and especially if she doesn't know what she's doing, as reflected by this reverse of Page of Swords. Show some discernment and wisdom and caution and hesitation by not getting involved, by not sharing any ideas on the situation if you don't know what you're doing in that given situation. And that's all I have to say on that matter. I hope this is helpful to her, and I hope this is helpful to others out there who are also passionate about tarot or want to learn more. And have a great day.